funny. I'll tell this to Mississippi Rio. September 6th is a big day to me because that was groundbreaking of Bremerton Ice Arena.
You brought up, I gotta ask you this while we have time. You brought up Sheriff Mark Lamb, how he was discovered. You said that's a good story, and I said, don't tell me, save it for the show. What?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us what happened with your buddy Sheriff Mark Lamb.
Oh, okay. Quick story. Again, 2 hours. I can't believe it. 2 hours is not even enough for you and me now, Mikey. Isn't it great? Sheriff Mark Lamb. Everyone's discovered in different ways. You were, Mike. You've got your story, and everyone's discovered in different ways. But Mark Lamb was just a regular. He was a sheriff. And if anyone reads his bio, pretty regular guy. He was the top of his class in everything he did. He was an overachiever. He was always a leader. But but as anyone knows, Mark Lamb he's a very progressive guy. He's a Gen X guy like you, Mikey. And he loves marketing, public relations, blah, blah, blah. And if anything, he loves to network out. As people know, he's got his own TV show on cable and stuff now. But he was one night he had been approached, as are a lot of the law enforcement guys around the country, to do an episode of Cops. And this was years ago. It's not on YouTube. I tried to find it, but an episode of Cops. And what was cool is Mark was he was the sheriff, just overseeing stuff, but he wasn't in the field. They were in the field with you know how it goes, 2 or 3 deputies and blah blah blah. And so they were following around. Anyhow, they had a pretty big incident that evening, and the camera was following the deputy. There was this, I guess, a bad boy. Imagine that, going to a domestic disturbance. I think this was a warrant. You know, those bad calls, you know, Mikey. Yeah. And the guy was a badass felon, I guess. But anyhow, his deputies had their hands full with this guy. And he was up a stairway, and these deputies couldn't get him down. So I kid you not. This was live, I guess, on Cops. In rolls in the sheriff. Kid you not, even with that cowboy hat and everything. He wasn't expecting to be on camera. I guess he strolled across this. The camera was following. He strolled across into this house, went up the stairs where his deputies were wrestling with this guy. He takes this guy and he drags him single-handedly down the stairs, out the front door, and tosses him on the front yard, right in front of the cameras. Dude. And everybody back in LA and New York said, who's this guy? And he was discovered literally within months. And just a smart guy, because obviously he's getting the word out, and always a good word of law enforcement and Constitution and freedom and family and God. But he, as a leader, we network ourselves out. He knows how to network himself out. And here he is on Americanuck Radio getting featured. But just for a really cool reason. So he was discovered that way. Hysterical. And then he ended up doing a TV program with him. You know, he hosted Live PD one night, or his co-host and stuff. So very cool.
What is his? You said he has a show on cable TV. What is his show about? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a subscription. Imagine this, American Sheriff Network, I believe, off of memory, and a subscription. And it literally is kind of an ongoing law enforcement, episodes of Cops, all kinds of specials and stuff, lots of Second Amendment stuff. It's great. Full endorsement, American Sheriff